If you'd asked a Porsche enthusiast 20 years ago what the future of the brand would look like, they probably would have described something like this: a naturally aspirated, flat-six 911. Definitely not any charging cables in sight. However, fast forward to today, and the brand's lineup tells a very different story. That being said, you can still buy the 911 Carrera today with its unmistakable flat-six soundtrack. You can step into the Cayenne E-Hybrid, which combines electric efficiency with petrol power. Or you can go fully electric with this, a Porsche Taycan. When people hear the word Porsche, this is usually the car that they picture. The 911 is the foundation for the Porsche brand, sitting under the GT3 and the Turbo. The remarkable thing is that even after 60 years of development, Porsche have refused to change this car's genetic makeup. We still have the classic 911 formula, engine in the back, 2+2 seating, and that flat-six soundtrack. At first glance, the latest 911 Carrera's design is very familiar. You've got a sloping nose, a very sloped roofline, and very muscular haunches to the rear of the car. The interior of the 911 Carrera is modernized without abandoning Porsche's heritage. You've got some digital driver screens here, but you do have that very classic 911 feel, which is added to by the low driving position that you have. Now, one of the most interesting things to talk about this car is obviously the powertrain, which sits at the back. It produces over 394 horsepower and can achieve 0 to 62 in just 4.1 seconds. The 911 showcases Porsche's heritage. It proves that after even decades of development, the internal combustion engines still have a lot to offer. The Cayenne occupies a very different space within the Porsche family, being the first luxury SUV for the brand. However, it's still very unmistakably Porsche when it comes to the design. We've got the lovely large headlights here and a very sloping front bonnet, and also very sculpted bodywork throughout the side of the car, making it unmistakably Porsche. What really sets this vehicle apart within the Porsche family is the E-Hybrid system. So we've got a V6 engine, which is paired with a battery pack. And then depending on the spec that you get, you can get over 500 horsepower out of this thing. Alongside the impressive powertrain, the interior of this car really does take it to the next level. When we're looking at the interior, you've got lots of soft touch premium materials. You've got the digital displays here for the driver and also a heads-up display. But the one thing I will say, it's very traditional Porsche with a very positioned lower driver position here with the sloping roofline. For Porsche, the Cayenne represents the transitional period, bridging the gap between a full electric car, like the Taycan, and the full ICE vehicle, such as the 911. The Taycan is Porsche's first fully electric production car, and perhaps one of the boldest moves in the company's modern history. The black edition that we have here offers exclusive design styling and other exclusive onboard technology. Despite being fully electric, the Taycan is every bit Porsche that it can be. We have very distinctive design features such as a sloping bonnet, a very sloped roofline, and dramatic proportions along the side of the bodywork. The black edition that we have here has black accents throughout the exterior of the car and also on the interior. And even though it is modern, it still does a really good job at staying true to Porsche's design heritage. The Taycan uses Porsche's developed 800-volt battery system, so depending on the trim, you can get a range between 370 up to 400 miles. Then when we're looking at charging times, depending on the trim, you can achieve 10 to 80% in just 20 minutes. When we're looking at the interior of the Taycan, it is one of the most technologically advanced interiors currently available in the Porsche lineup. The cabin has multiple digital dashboards, but it still brings that heritage of Porsche, having a very luxurious and premium feel with the materials and overall seating position for the driver. The Taycan showcases Porsche's future, demonstrating that electrification doesn't necessarily mean we have to take away from that driver engagement or overall performance of the car. The soundtrack for this car may have changed compared to the 911, but the philosophy of Porsche definitely hasn't. Whether it's a flat six behind you, a hybrid system beneath you, or a battery system running the entire length of the car, the goal for Porsche remains the same: to create a car that feels unmistakably true to that heritage and identity. Even though the technology may change and evolve, the badge on the hood remains the same.